And I want to talk for a second, hopefully, about our very last financial update of the year. So we try to do a financial update every 6 to 8 weeks because we want to be transparent about our finances. We want you to know what we spend our money on. We want you to know what our generosity goes towards. And we also want to celebrate as a community about where does this money get used and where are we at financially. So I'm going to take a moment just to talk through our financial update. But before I even hit the numbers, I wanted to just name some things that we're really thankful for and things that we feel like are really worth celebrating. Because if you were here at the beginning of the year and we were talking about our finances, we were saying that a good outcome would be that we were like negative $20,000. And that is actually just not the position that we are in this moment. We are ending the year in a really strong financial position, and we feel really thankful for that. But being in a strong financial position only matters because of what those finances enable us as a community to do, where that money goes and how it supports the work of the community and how we invest it. And those are the things that I want to celebrate too, so that the money sort of has context. And so I just started to create a list. I asked Heather for some things. I just created a list of things that I thought were worth celebrating. It is not extensive by any means. It's just things that I think are worth celebrating this year that sometimes go unseen or happened a long time ago that we may have missed. And so I just created a list of 12 things. This year we did our first garden project out in the building using our green space as a food for the community. We got a bunch of grants and unexpected support. We talked about this at the very beginning of the year. Our solar panels were donated to us this year, which was like a $30,000 donation in tangible gifts and services. We also got a grant from the city to build our garden bed, which I never expected or had like an imagination for. The city would want to partner with us, and we could partner with them. And then just this week, thanks to Danjuma in our community, Danjuma, raise your hand, dude. We just got another grant from Larry H. Miller to continue expanding our garden space and our green space to help and serve the community. Yeah, it was so surprising. I was just thankful for the leadership in this community and the way in which we get to partner with members of the community. Last year, at this moment, we talked about our pastoral fellowship, like a training program for leaders in the community. We're almost finished a year of that, and we're going to launch another next year, so have that on your radar. Missio Youth and the amazing work that our team does there. Hey. I wanted to shout out partnerships. That Missio really believes in partnering and not just leading everything. And so we have these kind of amazing partnerships. We partnered with MCC this year for foreign relief. We have partnerships at the in-between, which is hospice care to those who are houseless. We have our tenant partners, Rise Up, that just got done doing Nutcracker for 150 kids, which is kind of amazing. We also have Silver Moon, who moved into the building, and they're an amazing tenant, but they're also a partner. They did dinner and food for events for the community throughout the year. They've donated food to different events throughout the year. They feel more like partners than just tenants. But we're so deeply thankful for that relationship, along with so many amazing partnership. The work that we've done around sensory inclusion, largely led by members of this community, like Meg and other volunteers who've taken this really seriously, is such a gift. On the next slide, staff. Huge shout out to our amazing staff at Missio. They do so much work that you don't get to see. Some that you do, but then so much that you don't get to see. So just so thankful for them. Our guiding team, we had our board dinner on, what was that, Monday? Tuesday? Thursday? I don't know. Time's a flat circle. But that was amazing. I'm so thankful for our team who leads us and guides us. Our stewardship team, who we get to be celebrating finances because of the wisdom they provide about our finances. Our amazing volunteers who lead every single part of this service. Yeah, from these guys are volunteers. People in the back are volunteers. People with kids are volunteers. Home churches, like the heartbeat of Missio and the work they do. And then just finally, I feel so thankful for you as a community. I know this is maybe like a silly thing to say I'm thankful for because we're here, we're doing this thing, but I just feel so grateful for who we are, what it is that we believe as a community, how we show up in each other's lives, and the work that we've done. So the financial gifts, that all sustains that. That's what matters about who we are and what we do. And just feel really grateful for you and for the work that we get to do. So let me transition into where are we at financially? How did we end the year approximately? We're right about the end of it, but it's a good snapshot. So I want to show you our actual numbers and our budgeted numbers. So when we were looking at the budget, planning this through, we budgeted a negative of $29,000 for about this point in the year. And I don't know how to express this to you because this feels hard to understand. That would have been a good place to be. You know what I mean? I don't know if everybody has been there financially, but you're like, that would be nice if we could just be negative 29 and not 30 or 40. we would have been like, that would have been okay. And we had money in the reserves, and so that would have been basically spending all the money in the reserves. Those were all of our line items, our giving, our rental income that we get from our tenants. That would have been the total income, total expenses. But you can see on this left side category where we actually came out this year. And every number is basically bigger. So our giving was bigger than we budgeted. Our rental income was quite a bit bigger than we budgeted, thanks to those partnerships that we just celebrated. Our expenses were actually lower than we budgeted, miraculously. And so we're, at this point in the year, in the positive by $22,000. Yeah. Which I just feel so grateful for. I just feel so thankful for. So thank you to this community, and thank you for the ways that you've given and shown up. And again, so grateful for our partners who have made this possible. So huge, huge win. Now, you'll notice that a lot of that is made up by rental income. So we're really thankful for Rise Up and Silver Moon, who are our strategic partners, they're financial partners. Deeply thankful for them. But one thing that we're thinking about and praying about for the next year is that we are pretty dependent upon those tenants. If we lost one tenant, we would be basically back in the same position that we were in before, where if we lost Silver Moon, they pay about like $2,300 a month, we would be back in the same position that we were in before. So grateful. It's this weird dance and tension that we kind of hold as a community. We're in some ways maybe financially stronger than other communities because our income is diversified. And we're also dependent upon interesting tenants and givers in kind of unique ways. And so one of our prayers for the next year is just to continue increasing our internal giving so that we are not at risk of going backwards if we were to lose a tenant, which is a really normal process. This year we've kind of changed in and out tenants. That's just part of the game. And we hope to never lose Silver Moon. We hope to never lose Rise Up, but also they're growing and they're thriving, and that just may be a part of the natural life cycle in a healthy way, and we would have to sort of adjust to those things. So one of the things that we're praying for is just consistent monthly giving. Now that we're in a healthier financial spot, one of our big goals is returning to a goal we've always had, that if Phil somewhere around has been advocating for years and years and years, and finally we're going to listen to him, is to try to build a financial safety net. We have some ability to put some money in the savings to rebuild what we spent during the COVID years, basically. And so we're going to start to try to strategically invest in a reserve account if we lose a tenant, if something terrible was to happen to the building, if something was to happen that would put us back financially. That's our goal, is to begin to refill that reserve account. And then finally, our prayer and goal for 2025, and the number one thing that we care about and the thing that matters most to us is just continuing to expand our ability to serve and invest in the community. And that's many things. That's continuing to invest in this building. That's continuing to invest in kids curriculum. We run a pretty shoestring budget at Missio. That's always been true of us. It's true of many churches, but it's always been true of us that we run really close to the line. And so when we've had an opportunity to grow, we've just used that money to invest back in the community, to refill our benevolence fund, which we use to pay for rent and groceries and medical bills. And we also want to more strategically partner with our financial partners, to invest in MCC, to invest in the in-between in ways that we've not had an opportunity to do in the past. But it also is about investing in our staff and our team and continuing to pay them a healthy and hopefully more than livable wage. It's about providing benefits, about being able to make Missio a healthy place in all the ways that we are, in terms of how we serve, in terms of how we love, in terms of how we partner with the community, and in terms of how we care for our people. So those are our big prayers for the year going forward. Consistent monthly giving, reserve net, and expanding our abilities to serve. And I will try to end right here. I'm super excited for 2025. I know, we all are allowed to have whatever feelings we have, but as a pastor of this community, I feel very encouraged about 2025. And there was a few things I just wanted to name to you about 2025 that I think are really fun and really exciting, that are just a snapshot of what's going on next year. So we have Night to Shine, which I'm really excited for. Thanks again to Meg's leadership. We have some resources to expand our green space. We're doing another pastoral fellowship. And in many ways, 2025 feels like the year of big parties to me, because it's Missio's 15, which is crazy. Yeah, April of 2025 will be Missio's 15-year birthday. We can almost drive. And that's worth celebrating. And so I am excited that next year will be the year of parties for us, of a growing table, of creating even more room for unexpected peoples and unexpected places to sit at our table and for us to sit at other people's tables. That's kind of been the image that has been most percolating in our minds and our hearts as we pray through what 2025 looks like. And words like jubilee and maybe new leaves in the table feel like the thing that have like kind of defined that image. So really excited about where we're going, where we're headed. And as we close, I would just ask you to partner with us in that. Would you continue to partner with us in that if you already do? We put this slide up a lot as like, what is the invitation and the ask here? If you consider Missio your home and you have not yet become a reoccurring giver, would you consider it? Super easy, and reoccurring giving really helps us understand how to budget for the month and plan for the month. And so would you consider becoming a reoccurring giver? Would you, if you are a reoccurring giver or going to sign up to be a giver, would you consider covering push-pay fees? It's a 2.2% fee on all giving. That's like credit card processing fees. And Jordan, who's on our stewardship team and our board, pointed this out at the beginning of the year, that if everybody covered that, it would be like 13 grand of covered finances, which I think actually has really happened and really helped. So if you sign up, hit that button. It's like 50 cents on a lot of transactions, but goes a huge way in helping us cover those ends. And then finally, would you prayerfully consider your giving if you're already a partner with us and you're thinking about the next year? Would you prayerfully consider what it is that you give and why? And if you come to Missio and you're not in a position to financially give, I just want you to know this is your home. And there's lots of ways to participate in this home. There's lots of ways to belong to this place, and finances are not even on the list. You belong here. You belong at this table because of what Jesus has done, because of who we are as a people, and there are lots of meaningful ways to contribute to this community. Finances are actually pretty low on the list. Serving, bringing your whole self, giving your gifts, being present to one another, those are all the things that make us who we are. So, Missio, I'd invite you to continue living out of that kind of generosity and letting finances actually follow the generosity of a whole self, not the other way around. So, Missio, after all of that and too many words from me, would you join me in offering our offering prayer together as we continue to worship?